this is Karen from Tangles'n Knots, and today we're going to learn how to make these 3 braided bracelets. They're made with 1mm round leather. Here's what you'll need: 3 different colors of 1mm round leather, 5 yards each, some matching 0.4mm Chinese knotting cord, some hypo cement, your tools, and of course your clasps. Take your 3 5-yard pieces of leather and cut each one into 1-yard pieces. So you'll end up with 5 1-yard pieces of pewter, 5 1-yard pieces of your gunmetal, and 5 1-yard pieces of your metallic berry. Now we lined them up on our chart, which we're going to bring right here. And you'll see here that we have our 5 1-yard pieces of our pewter, our 5 1-yard pieces of our metallic gray, and our 5 1-yard pieces of berry. Now here comes the fun part. Each of these is a 5-strand braid. Actually, this one is a 10-strand braid. And so when you put these in combinations like this, these 5 strands will make this particular bracelet. These 5 strands will end up making this particular bracelet. And these 5 strands will end up making this bracelet. So when you're done, you have no more leather yet left. You've used it all up, and you've got 3 coordinating bracelets. So let's get started. Up first is this braid. We really like this braid. This is one of our favorites, and it looks complicated, but it's really simply easy to make. First, you want to find the middle of your leather, and you should have 4 of one color and 1 of a different color. And here is the setup. Simply take that's your different colors. Take 2 and place them in these 2 slots on your board, and take the other 2 and place them on that 2 sides of your board. Now you will have 5 strands to work with. Okay, start by locking in your white cord, and you want to keep it a little bit loose because you'll be working under it and over it. So for this braid, you want to start with your 2 in the middle here, and you just want to cross it so that they make an X over your white cord. So phase 1 is you basically want to take your outer cord and you want to go under this first 2 cords here and under the white, like so. And now you have 3 on this side, and you basically want to take the other one and go under the 2 and also under the white. So you'll now see that you have an X. The first X that you did is on top, and the second X is underneath. Okay, and I'm just going to tighten my center cord a little bit here. Okay, that's phase 1, or step 1. Step 2 is you want to take the outer cord and you want to go underneath this one and over the white. And on this side, you want to go underneath the first one and over the one you just did and the white. And those are your 2 steps that you just keep repeating. So we'll do it again. You take this one and you put it underneath both cords, the white one and the one next to it, or under everything, as we might say. And on this side, you do the same thing, under the 2 and also under the white. And then your next step is you want to go under and over the white, and this is under and over the white and the cord you just did. Okay, back to step 1, under everything, and on this side, under everything. Make that X underneath, and then step 2 basically locks it in. And every now and then you can pull in that middle cord just to keep it stiff or straight, and that's all there is to it. So our next braid is this one. This one reminds me of a friendship bracelet, and it's kind of fun, and it's the easiest of the 3 braids to make. So we have 2 pewters, 2 metallic berries, and our remaining metallic gray. Here's the setup. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. Take 2 of this and you want to bring it down on the slat next to the gray and then up on the other side so that it looks like this. And then for your metallic berry, you want to also find the middle. And you want to go down this one slot over and back up. And there you go. There are your 5 strands. And now this braid is exactly like a 3-strand braid, except you're going to go over 2. And so this is, like I said, one of the simplest braids to make. So you want to take your outer cord, you want to go over 2, which would be your white and your metallic gray, just like that. And then on the other side, you want to go over 2. So there's 1, there's 2. And that's all there is to this particular braid. So take your outer one, go over 2. Take your outer one, go over 2. We'll do it a couple more times so that you can see the braid forming. But it's super easy. It's just like a 3-strand braid. Take your outer one over 2. And take your outer one over 2. Let me do a couple more, and you can slowly see our braid forming. And just make sure that you keep your braids flat because you're working with 2 at once, or 2 pieces of leather at once, so just make sure that when you go over they don't twist and they stay flat. And there's your braid. See it beginning to form? And the last braid is this one. It is actually a 10-strand braid because we're going to use or braid each cord individually instead of in pairs like we did on the other 2. Okay, here's the setup. You should have 3 strands of your metallic berry and 2 strands of your pewter left. So take 1 of the strands of the metallic berry and then put 2 of your pewter on the right and 2 of your metallic berry on the left. Okay, this is a 2-pass braid, and you will be using each of these strands individually. So you want to take the rightmost strand, you want to go over 2 and under 3. On the left side, it doesn't matter what pass, you're going to do the same thing. So you want to go over 2 and under 2. And pass 1 is done. Now for pass 2, you want to go over 2, under 2, and over 1. And again, on the left side, you simply want to do over 2 and under 2. Back to pass 1, you want to go over 2 and under 3. And on the left side, it's still simply over 2, under 2. Pass 2 is over 2, under 2, and over 1. And on your left side, it's over 2, under 2. We'll do it a couple more times so that you can see the braid forming. Pass 1 is over 2, under 3. On the left side, it's over 2, under 2. Over 2, under 2, and over 1 is past 2, and over 2, under 2. Always on that left side. You can slowly see our braid forming. Okay, here are our 3 braids. They're all finished. And now we're going to put on the clasp. So we usually we're going to be using some hypo cement, so we just want to protect our board. cut about 1 foot of your Chinese knotting cord, find the middle, apply some hypo cement, making sure that you leave enough braid to make sure that it's long enough to go around your wrist. You're going to do a series of 5 square knots right on the glue, and you want to tie them pretty tight, so don't be afraid to pull. And the glue will help hold this in place. So I'm sorry, these are half square knots, so there's 4 half square knots. And I think I'm actually going to do 2 more to make it 6 half square knots. Oopsie, I missed that one. So there you go. There are your square knots. And it actually doesn't really matter how many you make. Then you want to measure your braid. Okay, so that's where the clasp is going, and this actually fits our wrist really well, so we're going to use this as our measurement. And so that means that, if you can see this in the video, I'll move this up. That means that our next clasp is going to be right about there, or we want to put our bottom clasp there. So we take our hypo cement, we put glue on that side, and we do the same thing. Okay, we actually finished all of our braids. The glue is dry, so let's start with this middle one. You want to take it off the board. Okay, let's move the board out of the way. You simply cut these ends. Let's seal them with the flame. Okay, so now you want to cut off the excess braid as close to the Chinese knotting cord as you can without actually cutting the Chinese knotting cord. And using a sharp scissors is probably a good thing to use. Anyway, okay, so now this is your braid. We decided to use a silver clasp, so we've switched to a silver clasp. And all you need to do is flatten. And so all I'm doing is squeezing and flattening so that it sort of fits your clasp a little better. Okay, and then all you need to do is put your clasp on and squeeze it tight. This braid is reversible, so it doesn't really matter which way you put the clasp on. Both ways will work. And so again, you just flatten it to make sure that it fits into your clasp nicely. Like so. Crimp it shut. Oh, and don't let it shift as it crimps. And there you go. That's all there is to it. Really pretty.